of her Magnet Storm away from the rest of the team. So we'll see if he's going to be able to find those good engages. But it has to be said, set engages are not exactly like the most reliable. Like, you're trying to make things happen with that.
Team Liquid know that they are kind of outmatched, and API no flash. They talked about it before. Contracts is waiting in the wings as well. API is pinging for assist, but Pioshik is on the Dragon. He would have to give up leashing it for it, and he just says, come towards me. I smote it down the Dragon. I can provide disengage with my ultimate ability. API just runs over to bot lane. Ignar's just going to collapse onto APA, and they get the charm down, and APA's got nowhere else to run. That's first blood for NRG. They're going to look for more into Pioshik, and he's caught with his pants down. NRG.
It's a big early play.
Core JJ, Hex flashing in, tries to catch FBI. He still has a flash to play with. Can Yon dump enough damage in with the killer instinct to find him? FBI almost makes the outplay, but Yon has the instant cleanse to get shown in multiple games when Team Liquid get ahead through bot lane. Yon has been able to get himself fine, but APA is in a tough spot, dodges the Q stun, but the crackdown in the Magnet Storm should be enough CC for PowerFox to clean up the kill. Summit is here, but he's
kind of priorities here. Look at all this vision invested in the top side, this area with 4TL to try to enable Summit, and then on the bot side, it's all of these red wards here from NRG. They're trying to cover that bottom Dokla, so now they're going to come in.
4,000 HP. Ignar pops the quickness, looks for the backline, but doesn't quite make it with the grand entrance. Pioshik with the W goes all the way to Ignar. Now he's separated from the rest of the team. Can Team Liquid burn down the Rift Herald? But now they don't have smite advantage, so that should between Dokla and PowerFox. They're going to be able to collapse in once the T1 turrets are taken out. They can go in through the mid lane, through the jungle, and then you lose safety even with that tier 1 turret in the mid lane as you're trying to set up that strong point with Yon, who is still the only person that's ahead. And Summit, I mean, you're just too far out, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. He gets the flash away, but Contracts and PowerFox clean it up easily.
Yeah, League Leader and ISO Deaths is going to add another one, unfortunately, to the column there from Summit. They will trade a tower on the other side. They're going to be able to get a Dragon as well. So TL are getting something from this. It's not just, you know, a completely useless death. So they will be happy to at least take some objectives on the other bot lane. So they force out that ulti defensively. It's a slight win, but Contract's looking like he's going to fight.
They're engaging, and Dokla doesn't get the TP first. Summit has Mega Form. He's right onto the back line here. FBI is stunned up. He gets the wall down, but Summit takes a lot of damage, so he jumps right into the front line. Dokla teleports in, but he's still alive. He's able to sustain up with the Gore Drink, and he gets out, and the rest of NRG can reposition for this fight. They look for Yon. They know that Yon is the big target for them. Big root onto the back line as well. Yon is caught out. He's forced to flash. Core JJ handling everyone as he can, but he gets taken up by PowerFox over the wall. That's a huge pickup for NRG. And with 4 members up, they can't go for the Baron because Contracts is dead and no jungler on their side, but they're going to look to push down to the mid lane.
3 for 1 at the end of the day. A very close fight on both sides. It looked like it was going to be a shot blast on the PowerFox. He's got to try to go for it, I feel like. You can't just give this up.
APA is going to look for an angle.
Impossible.
He has flash, but it's just too difficult.
Dragon here for NRG, so evening up the Dragons, opening up a massive gold lead. Tier 1 tower bot is dead for sure. It's just a question of how many can you get with this Baron buff.
Yeah, Pioshik and Core JJ are kind of looming here. Ignar looking for the play. Nice interrupt from Pioshik, but he's still got the quickness, so Pioshik is going to be locked down. Thankfully, he's a tank. He sustains a lot of damage, is able to walk away with half of his HP still available, but NRG got the turret that they want.
Yeah, they're going to get the tower. They're just trying to buy time, basically, though, for APA, who's splitting on that top side. And if you can trade evenly, you are trading up when you are down, and when you are... he's even playing Ingenious Hunter for the item CDR, you know, for more Luden's procs and things like that. So the poke will be ramping up, but the question is, can you find those angles?
Might be the prize for NRG if they can just get a couple more hits in. The rest of Team Liquid don't want to re-engage on this one.
You can't take them in a straight 100-0 fight, so it's got to be about landing enough poke, but the Baron is going down fast. FB is already at half health, though.
Summon is trying to look over the wall. 3,000 HP. Nature's Grasp locks them all down. Summon is into the pit, but will he expire? Oh, but Pioshik steals the Baron! It was an early smite for Contracts! Pioshik is able to get the Baron for Team Liquid, and now can they clean up the fight? I say it's Team Liquid, you just get out of there! You've got the Baron already!
Yeah, they get the Baron through here from Dokla. It's just him. Now a second TP coming in, but they should be able to get this and get out.
Wait, someone hit it! Wait, someone hit it! Okay, Core JJ gets him with the face smack. Core JJ is going to go down for that price. It looks like he wanted to Hex Flash over the wall and get out, but he had to sacrifice his life to ensure that they got the Dragon. Dokla flashing on top of APA to make sure he doesn't get out alive. Yon doesn't have any more mana, so he can't really save him, but he gets the Blast Cone out, and APA and Yon walk away.
Yeah, nicely timed there by Yon. They got to be a little bit careful, though, because Ignar could go over the wall.
Right over the wall, as you called it. PowerFox is able to sweep on over, and Pioshik is just a tank. He can't do anything against this guy. He has to wait for Yon to look for the damage. PowerFox might be exposed. He flashes, but he can't get back over the wall. He uses the stasis to block out Maokai's ulti as well, and Yon is caught out. And NRG, they have the damage Steelers, Team Liquid don't. Summit goes to the Mega Form, but he cannot approach this wave, as NRG will look to push into the base of Team Liquid.
This could be the game potentially. We'll see how much NRG wants to go for. There are some low health bars here, but it's 30 seconds on APA, and they're going for it.
It's just pretty much all tanks, and Summit has got many, so he's even squishier. CoreJJ throws his life in there for the cause. Facebreaker doesn't do anything. NRG are undeterred. They're ready to take game one into their own hands, but Ignar's taking a lot of damage for the turret shots. Dokla stares, gauges pop. Ignar goes down the Summit. Oh my god, it's a Clown Fiesta. Summit and Puse are going to defend this with the rest of their lives. And he's out of there. The blast cone back to safety. Pioshik gets engaged on by Palafox.
What is he doing there?
Throws out the ulti, roots him up. Hey, Palafox doesn't have flash from before. Maybe CoreJJ can lock him up, and Jan is just dumping damage into Palafox's back. The killer instinct was so easy and so free. Summit is able to get a shutdown on top of that as well.
Plays punishing some of the mistakes here from NRG, and now that tier 2 tower is gone, Palafox is gone, so you can look at them. They're getting poked so heavily as they walk in.
It's so hard for them to be able to brute force their way through. And Summit is building up his mega form as well. Dokla is already half HP. His Hysterics gauge is already popped. Contract goes through the engage, but he whiffs on everyone. CoreJJ middle to the backline, forcing FBI Palafox to reposition into the right flank. Summit is taking up damage. 30,000 HP on the Dragon. 3.8k. It resets. Pioshik gets forced off. Forced to flash. They go right back on the Summit now that he's mini farmed. Ignar is able to find him with a knockup, but Palafox is able to take him out. Pioshik still has a smite, but he is out of this one. The Dragon goes over to NRG, and Team Liquid now have to run. Dokla is looking for the chase. He doesn't have flash, but they can look for the re-engage and cut them off. The mid lane is going to be a dicey one to walk through. They have to walk through the left side of the jungle.
Yeah, they're going to try to move towards Baron because they don't have minions here, but Dokla's in trouble.
Killer Instinct! Dokla takes too much poke! That's one isolated pick to the side.
By some of that poke, and then the Killer Instinct is there to actually push him out, and now Pioshik is kind of out there by himself.
And NRG knew that
he's just dead for free. Now they get Baron. Like, what is that?
Dios mío, Isaiah, I don't know what's happening.
Oh my god.
This is una locura if I've ever seen one for sure. NRG, man, they now have 7,000 HP. They're burning down the Baron. There is no smite available from the side of Team Liquid, so that should be an easy one. No donation. Base of Team Liquid as they push out on this top side of the map. The Baron buff still available to them for the next minute and a half. Summit is forced to recall back to make sure that he is here for a defense if NRG push all the way through the Nexus turrets. This should be a free inhibitor as there's no response from Team Liquid. The minions do enough damage. Ignar is chunked out to half HP. They're looking for the engage. Void Seekers from Yawn are firing onto the backline and landing their mark. Last one misses as Contract's leaping forward, wanting to look for the engage. Nothing is found. NRG get with the inhibitor though and walk away.
NRG get the inhibitor. They will back off. But again, it's another Baron. Not able to get much. Ignar's maybe going to go down.
Void Seeker, Ignar, does he have the quickness? Does he have anything to get out the grand entrance over the wall? CoreJJ looks for the Facebreaker. It still doesn't do enough damage. Ignar is alive. CoreJJ goes down. It looks like Team Liquid had the pick, but Ignar baited them in, and now they have the man advantage.
Core flashed in to try to make something happen there, but Jan, wasn't able to get the kill, and he just had to flash out, so Core ends up going down. Ignar gets out with the thanks to that stopwatch, staying alive. Summit trying to charge up his Mega. It is just going to be another inhib going down.
Team Liquid to come in.
Mega is going to expire.
Summit is Mega. As you called it out, it's about to expire soon if he doesn't jump in and commit, but if there's not a good angle, then it's not safe for him to go for it. And NRG are going to
move out and contest. And NRG, though, they're completing their full build. So if TL can somehow hold on for a while, the gold lead is going to kind of stop mattering at a certain point, but it is triple inhibs now.
So is Palafox until he steps into the river. The Dokla can just pop Baron's on over to APA. There's no way that they can answer. 4,000 HP on the Baron. It is taken, secured by NRG. And Team Liquid now are going to have to rely on potentially this last base defense.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it. It is going to be inhibitors coming back pretty soon, so this is the last wave of double supers, but double supers plus Baron is so hard to actually wave clear, even if there's not a lot of enemies around, and all 5 of NRG are here. We'll see if they can make it happen. It's all up to the poke. It's got to be APA. It's got to be Yawn hitting this poke non-stop, and we'll see if they can make it happen.
Void Seeker will connect. It connects on the Dokla at the front line. They want to look for FBI and Palafox and try to chunk out the damage dealers out. Nexus turret 1 falls. Summit is below 50% HP. Has to go back to the fountain before he can engage on Mega Form. He's built half of his Rage Form up. APA fires one more Shock Blast into Palafox.
They're going to have to force
it
fight.
off. Summit is going in. Tokla pops the Dominus. Nature's Grasp. It's Contract right onto the backline, stopping APA from being able to fight back. Yawn is retreating right behind the base. We can't really do any damage, so that means FBI just gets the free fire into the front line of Team Liquid. Yawn is forced to both use Flash Cleanse and Killer Instinct already on top of it. NRG have the numbers advantage, and they should just be able to walk this one in. FBI flashing forward, has the GN inside, so he has all the confidence to be able to take out Yawn and to be able to take out Team Liquid. Yawn is in the fountain, he goes golden, but all for naught, as Summit is the last one standing outside of the fountain, and NRG, Pocomp be damned, they will take game one.
Nicely done. NRG gonna be able to grab game number one. 45 minutes it took them.
If NRG, they just want to double down on tanks and saying, okay, well, if you subjugate one of the tanks, at least we'll still have another one to play with in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is he's probably only ever going to use it on the Poppy. I guess you could go.
I've been able to, and it changed so much ever since the coaching changes going into Summer Split as well. We take a look at the threefold split. Pioshik completing 3 camps, trying to get some information on where Contracts was. He full cleared his top side, and there's wards in the river. One's about to expire for Team Liquid, but the one is still available from NRG. So Contracts knows he has to bail Dokla out here. He's gonna bide his time and wait for the angle as he slams Summon into the wall. Dokla should be traded right on back for Pioshik, but getting first blood was crucial for him.
On top side, and that's gonna be really, really nice.
Oh, he dodged the scatter the weak stun. Palafox is forced to flash. Palafox is nowhere else to run because APA had the reset jump. That's
going a lot better. It is just that slight gold lead because the first blood obviously went to NRG, and because these 2 plates down on bot side were taken. Every single time they look to do that. So APA has taken the bad end of a couple trades, but now Pioshik invading, and that is a risky move.
Yeah, they have the push from bottom side of the map, so Ignart has a free roam, and Pioshik is just caught way too far forward, already burned the flash. APA can't do anything.
Play. And Pioshik gets caught on the invade, getting a little bit too aggressive, and now it's going to pour over onto the rest of the map.
Summon is looking for the all-in on Dokla, but he's also below 50% HP. If Contracts finds this angle, if Dokla is able to push it in, they can make a safe dive happen. Summon still has a flash, but he doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom available. Hex Flash doesn't find the mark onto the tower, and Contracts doesn't have a flash available. Summon is forced to flash. Pioshik is coming, and Dokla might have been overextended for this one. He still has a flash to play around with. The Pillar is going to get the slowdown. Smite from Pioshik. He flashes away, but the Chomp gets one more slowdown. The stun, it's not enough. Pioshik looks for him. Now Contracts, he doesn't have a flash. He gets the Chomp down, and he might be able to lock Contracts down as well. Summon is TPing in, and he knows that he doesn't want to give any local assist gold, so he just has to run into the tower and give it to Pioshik.
Yeah, the Q damage working and the auto attack reset working as well. You will crush turrets if you're given alone time. And now, out of nowhere, yeah, Pioshik gives over a freebie, but he gets 2.
And check this out, Azale. First items completed for almost every single member of Team Liquid, but APA, he doesn't have another reset jump. He's already jumped way too far, and now he's forced to flash. I don't think he's going to get another Buster jump in time. Oh boy, a little too far on that one. Dokla's able to
some
punish.
turret damage down, but I think NRG have enough wave clear here to hold this, and it is going to be a fight.
Oh, flash from Ignar, and they might have caught out Core JJ here, but the Keeper's Verdict is going to force to bounce out Core JJ, but he almost died, so he just got a free escape out, and APA still kicks out Ignar, but Dokla finds Core JJ on the back. He TP'd in. And now
TL knows they can't continue chasing, and now Pioshik has been spotted, but Dokla, I think Dokla just killed himself.
Unfortunately, Dokla went over the wrong wall. Didn't expect Pioshik to be there, I guess.
But unfortunately gets caught, and then again, it's the flash. Oh. It's the flash on top that just makes it feel take out, but TL, I think, feeling pretty confident with their spot thus far.
Do they want to engage this? APA is coming in down for the flank already. Summon from over the wall with a flash slicing Maelstrom. Douglas got nowhere to go because he burned flash from the prior escape route. Contracts is forced off. FBI is forced off. Ignar's got nowhere to run and no flash available. That's another easy pickup for Team Liquid.
They can go straight to Baron.
Flash forward, looking for the Scatter Bleed stun and only hits Summit. Yawn is down 50% HP as well. They're trying to focus it down. Contracts is coming, and Team Liquid, it's just too scary for them to go and take the full brunt of the damage. But APA flashes in, Buster shot in, sick! He gives up his life, but they take out. It's the same thing for Pioshik, APA, and Yawn, and Core JJ. Keeper's Verdict looking for the windup. He butts out Pioshik, and they can just look for the Dragon Steel. That just seemed easy for NRG.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get McCore's trying to fight anyway.
Fast presence blocks Core JJ. He gets stiffed on the engage. Yawn though going with the Killer Instinct as well. Someone doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom. He can't really contribute that much damage. Pioshik is trying to get in there. Bites down FBI, punishing the flash. APS in the middle of all three. He gets blown up, but Yawn and Summit, do they have the damage to follow up? Palafox no flash, and he gets chopped down by Team Liquid, and they force them off. Do they have enough damage to look for the Baron? It might just be the turn and look for a reset instead.
He has a tendency to give up that advantage, and that is something he's really got to watch out for.
Can't afford to do that again. CoreJJ looking for the engage onto PowerFox. He's stunned up, but no damage follow-up available because the Keeper's Verdict punted away Yawn in that. Summit is able to pick up that last wave. PowerFox clicks up that wave as well. Oh, APA looking for the solo kill. Diving Dunkle under the tower. Gets stunned up by the Ruthless Predator, but it's not enough. Buster jump. Rocket jumping forward. He now has to deal with minions, but he's got Pioshik there. Contracts. Does he have flash? No, he just dies to the minions anyway. So now Team Liquid, they took out a solo laner, but they lost their...
As NRG are moving in, it's a lot of pressure on Yawn now to have a good fight, but Summit's on the flank
Slicing
here.
Maelstrom. This flank is going to be huge. It's on Fog. He comes in for the back line. Slicing Maelstrom right on top of all of them. FBI is forced to flash to the left side. Pioshik trying to lock him down with the Arcane Shift. He has the safety. One more chop. And Arcane Shift. He's still alive. FBI survives.
And TL don't really have an angle to contest. They're just going to try to look for a steal over the wall, but it's not going to happen. And now the challenge becomes very, very difficult here for TL. You can see APA was trying to see if FBI would walk up and he would try to look.
It's because there's so many flanking threats this time around. It's a change of pace, but Contracts has adapted beautifully in this game too as CoreJJ finds a massive stun onto PowerFox. Can they lock him down for the damage? But he still has a flash to play with. And Contracts once again with the Keeper's Verdict punts out one of the damage dealers in APA. So they just deal away with CoreJJ like he's a fly on the wall. NRG are able to push this one into the mid lane.
Yeah, really well played there. They're able to eject APA on one side, and Dokla just pushes Summit away. If Summit doesn't have a flash, but maybe they can find an angle to get in here.
No Keeper's Verdict this time around. Summit goes in with the Proto Belt, tries to look for PowerFox. Yawn onto the backline, finds Dokla as well, but FBI is still safe. And if FBI doesn't go down, then NRG will not die. APA and Pioshik are the last one standing on Team Liquid's side. NRG are now looking to try to burn down the bear, but APA is doing a ton of damage. He bursts out Ignore. Buster Rocket jumps back. He's safe.
Back.
Looking for CoreJJ as well to lead the engage. Spearhead the charge here. PowerFox with the scatter, the weak stun. The steadfast presses from Contract stops CoreJJ in his tracks. Pioshik looks for the subjugate. Contract is now going to be a squishy. He's looking for the pillar, but AP is chunked out by PowerFox and FBI. And FBI is able to Arcane Shift forward, and NRG are able to respond back with just more damage.
FBI is popping off. Summit comes in. Look at Dokla though. Immediately flashes in on him, stuns him up, then Contracts tackles him off of his carries. So
Stood and delivered on the damage in these fights.
Absolutely. I mean, FBI only has the one death, that one Arcane Shift that you so much CDR, you can start really shifting aggressively constantly. I mean, he's almost level 18 as the AD carry here. It's a pretty ridiculous advantage. Summit is trying to look for that flank. Does have flash, has level 3 ulti. But even if he finds it, there's a stopwatch, there's a Maw, there's so many tools. There's a Zonius on PowerFox, there's an Ocean Soul. It's going to be incredibly hard.
It's available for Summit. Yawn has available to all of his summoner spells. FBI also has his summoner spells available. Dokla now looking for the flank, trying to pinch around the Team Liquid. NRG are increasing their pace forward. Yawn is on the other side of this wall, so he has to rejoin with the rest of his team before he gets marked off. Pioshik is going to be able to scout out Dokla with the sweepers. Contracts looking for the engage forward, and now members of the front line are disengaged from Team Liquid's backside. Dokla going for it with the Dominus. True Shot Barrage gets some damage down. There's a building minion wave on the bottom side of the map, but it looks like some Team Liquid members are trying to recall and go back and recall, but Contracts gets a little bit of damage, and now they're forcing Team Liquid to their side of the map. Both teams have traded sides. They're running towards the base of NRG instead because they've got nowhere else to run.
Well, and it's the Ocean Soul. Even if you chunk out Contracts, he just has to hit a minion, hit a jungle creep, hit anything, and that Ocean Soul will trigger. And they're just going to keep healing back up. FBI has chunked out APA, chunked out Summit, and they want this fight. They're not going to let you escape. They're just going to continue chasing after them. Summit trying to get out of there.
Summit is a sacrificial lamb. He still has flash to play with. Does he want to burn it just to keep himself alive? He doesn't have teleport to rejoin the fight, but he might just get out of there. Wait, Team Liquid, they've been able to chase themselves into the base of NRG, and now NRG, they have to decide, do they want to take the Elder Dragon, or do they want to stop this base push from Team Liquid?
They absolutely need to kill them.
They have the numbers advantage right now. Yawn has already burned the cleanse. API gets popped by FBI, and Yawn has got nowhere to run. Killer Instinct over the wall. He's able to get through it, but he's got nowhere else to go. FBI flashing forward. Yawn gets the flash out as well, and there's nothing else that Yawn can do. It just hope that FBI's Arcane Shift comes up, but Dokla's gonna teleport into the base. There's no members there from Team Liquid left to defend. Dokla can just end the game by himself. Pioshik is trying to... He can't recall. He's got nowhere to run. And Contrast is keeping vision on Yawn, so he can't get a safe recall either. This should be game 2 in the bag for NRG.
What a game from NRG. FBI coming up massive for the team. Shifts over the wall, gets the kill by his damn self, uses the stopwatch there to stay alive. They chase TL across the map. from the Dragon to their base, all the way to the enemy Nexus. NRG gonna take game number 2 and move us to match point.
Top angle with the buffs that came through and less Shyvana jungle. So there it is, like you said, the Maokai.
Yeah, little Mao.
I mean, obviously, we've seen how potent these poke comps can be.
It was then, all right, there's no more gank to happen, right? And if you try to run past the wave and actually make that gank happen anyway, and then you lose that wave and don't get the kill, well, then you're really screwed.
Yeah.
So, you know, they end up playing it a little bit slow, but Pyosik is back here, and Dokla didn't respect it.
Yeah, well, he gets the double slice and dice, but does he flash away? Pyosik doesn't land the second cast of W, but they still have the mobility to lock him down. They're able to actually win that pushing war, got them a lot of those early dragons. If Pyosik is going to find contracts here in the jungle, he's going to W right on in. PalaFox first has collapsed. AP is going to jump in and try to get as much damage as he can, but now it's in a 1v2. He gets one more rocket jump, but he would have to flash to commit for the all-in, and he's just not going to do that. Contracts gets out alive.
Yeah, you also have to remember, Ezreal is actually making the move, and he can assist with his ulti cross map, so NRG are going to have the extra members there, but TL are still kind of playing with the idea of challenging here.
Oh, the smite was early, but Contract still gets it. And they just force the front line to back away into the jungle quadrant. CoreJJ finds a 2-man stun, but they already lost Summit and Pyosik, so APA, what can he do? He's not going to be able to reset on any of these guys. It's all 5 members here from NRG, the 5-man unit committing, and Dokla gets a triple kill on top of it. We're pinning on to Team Liquid and trying to figure out how they were playing. It doesn't work for them to go slow, so they try to up the things in the pace in game 2. You saw how that one went, and now Pyosik is going to try to catch out Dokla. He still has a flash, but he would have to slice and dice through 2 people. He's not going to burn it. It's a huge shutdown. It does go over to Pyosik, which is not the greatest thing in the world if you wanted that gold bounty to go to a carry. As a mid lane, all in from PalaFox, is able to answer back and gets the solo on APA.
PalaFox getting one back, as you say. It's been APA who got that solo kill in the last game. You could see a big reaction on the player cam there from APA, frustrated that he ended up getting taken down in that situation, as PalaFox is now going to be pretty far ahead, and Tristana has been in some great spots throughout this series. Have not been able to claim a game just yet, but at the end of the day,
reinforcements coming, all 5 members sinking into the top side of Team Liquid. Pyosik already flashing away at one Arctic Assault, but Contracts is there with the twisted advance, and Pyosik's got nowhere to run. Someone is just jumping in with the counter strike, but he's got no more mana to play with. CoreJJ is there just as a meat shield. And so Pyosik will fall. It looks like APA will try to bounce back with turret destruction in the mid lane and be able to trade one back.
For Yon and APA to get as much farm as possible, work on towers, and I mean, this turret's gone too. So now Dokla's got to be a little bit careful.
CoreJJ is in Summit's left flank here. Looks like Contracts is farming up this blue buff. Dokla taking a lot of damage, trying to catch him. He does! The counter strike clipped him on the back end of that slice and dice.
Here, and he is almost 1,500 gold up on Dokla. He just took both the tier 1 towers, then got a kill, and now Summit looking for the flank here. NRG are going for an engage, but Summit's behind them. This could go bad.
Yeah, Pyosik already threw out the Glacial Prison. Yon onto Killer Instinct, forcing FBI to flash. APA needs to find a target. He's only hitting Ignar right now, but they collapse onto the front line, and they force the back line of NRG off, so nothing that the front line of NRG could do to handle Team Liquid's comp. That's a huge team fight win for Team Liquid.
TL destroy NRG as they try to move in for the Dragon there. If they did not have eyes on Summit, he already has 2 items so early on. PalaFox wasn't even really there with the squad. PalaFox NRG and massive threat here as well. He's 305, has the stopwatch, almost has his tier, fully stacked up for that Mermana, and is going to be
strangle that lead back into their control. But Yon was able to pick up a lot of gold during all those times they collapsed on the top side of the map, and Dokla's just dead again.
Yeah, nice kill again. And I want to see TL continue to do this. This is working so well. You're going to have Summit very quickly in a position where Dokla isn't even going to be safe under his tower. He can start to ignore him, just walk forward and hit the turret in his face. FBI maybe going to get solo kill by Yon.
He finds an angle. FBI was up
for a dive here. Contracts is around, but PalaFox has to be respectful, and Summit now unanswered in that bot side is going to be able to get the tier 2. They get the tier 2 mid. TL.
Were they in the mid game, into the late game? Do they want to bring Summit over for this fight? I guess they want to force the 5-on-5. They look for APA once again. PalaFox, huge snipe, and FBI cleans it up. And now they engage onto the front line. They just make short work of CoreJJ.
He knocked APA out of his rocket jump with the hammer form E there. And Yon now in trouble.
Yon is also in danger of dying, flashing away, using the killer instinct as well, but Dokla's waiting in the fog.
Summit.
Yon gets flashed on Cleanse. That's Dokla. Big Doke shows up huge. Yon gets taken out. Summit is now into the back line looking for Ignar, but he goes into FBI and he takes him out. Does he have the mobility? He might have enough ability hits to get out of this one, but the stasis, I don't think he's getting out of this one. PaLaFox is able to shoot him safely over the wall. That's the number advantage once again. They feel the need to try and fight NRG in this Baron pit. And they have multiple flanks. Spatial Prison lands true onto Dokla. They try to get the Counter-Strike stunned down. CoreJJ already falls. Yon going in with the Killer Instinct, but doesn't find enough damage onto Dokla. Pyosik has to lead the charge again, but he is the only front line left. As APA, Rocket jumps in, finds one reset, looks for PaLaFox. PaLaFox stops him in his tracks and punts him out of the sky. Void Seeker.
Triss games as well. You know, this guy is new to the LCS stage, and now Core are going to get caught out.
Yon is here for the follow-up, though. Dokla losing a lot of HP, but they can't follow up anymore. But Killer Instinct into the Void Seeker blinks out Dokla, but APA is caught out. Once again, PaLaFox, but he gets blown up by Yon, saving his other mid laner. And FBI is now on the run as well. Contract trying to fend them off and be a deterrent, but they lose.
Finish it.
Contract still has Flash, he has Smite. Can he get in there? The Q flash, it's not in time. Pyosik secures the Baron.
Smite, but it is secured by Pyosik, and TL going to be able to grab it.
And that's a huge disengaged pool as well. Pyosik leading the charge as they throw out the Glacial Prison just to fend them off. That's the inhibitor turret fallen. Team Liquid making their way into the middle inhibitor while Summit pushes through the top side of the map. They don't have a wave quite yet on the bottom side, so they would just bleed into the top side and join up with Summit once they are done with this inhibitor. They're making short work of this base so far. The engage from Dokla forces Summit back, but he still has Killer Instinct, but that could have been close.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big. They get that ulti offset 20 as well, but look at Summit. He's just ignoring him. He's going to kill the tower.
But APA gets blown up! Team Liquid now have to fight this one out. Yon still has both of his summoner spells available, and he can deal damage, but he has to rely on CoreJJ and Pyosik to frontline for him, but he looks for Contract. Killer Instinct over the wall. He still has a flash available. FBI closes the distance though, and Yon is gone! FBI takes him out, but someone's got to teleport to deal with someone who is in the base and takes out the inhibitor. Pyosik buys some time, but FBI and Ignar looking to cut him off. He's going to look to join up with Summit, the person that he put the Night's Vow on. Maybe he can look to get some damage.
The center of the wall!
Oh, but it's the teleport coming back in. They've closed all around them, and there's nowhere else for Summit to go. PaLaFox sends him to the skies. A three-man counter-strike to Summit! Outplays it! And he takes out FBI. He ward offs over the wall. No way he gets out of this one, right? The Q stun doesn't land, and Summit makes it out.
Wow. They just didn't respect the damage. He's coming over the wall. Summit makes a massive play there. Had the Hull Breaker, had the Zoni, so he goes over the wall. That first stun from Ignar was really... They do lose a bit of a fight. They do lose the Dragon. The gold lead is closing, but they have two in this game. They needed to get something back, and now Yon does have Death Cap completed.
Nature's Grasp exchanged by Glacial Prison from Pyosik. Contract.
But look at Summit.
Looking for the disengage as well, but Summit is now making light work of the top turret, and now all inhibitor turrets are gone. 2 exposed inhibitors are for the taking from Team Liquid. The fact that Summit has done everything in his power to keep Team Liquid's chances alive in this series has led to them now pushing into the base of NRG with only 2 exposed Nexus turrets left between them and Team Liquid, taking Game 3 into their own hands.
And NRG doesn't have a lot of their engage tools. There's no flash on Ignar, there's no flash on Contracts, no ult on Contracts, so there's not really any angles. They can't even poke here because there's a million minions, and TL have got everything they need to try to close this one out.
And Summit's just so tanky. He walks up, gets a Counter-Strike and a couple autos on Dokla. They get the 2 Nexus turrets easily. Team Liquid are not done yet, folks. Contracts goes in on the APA, but they make short work of the front line. They jump back on the APA, but he still survives, and Summit can just whack and bonk on the Nexus to close out the game. PaLaFox and FBI do everything they can for the last stand, but this one goes to Team Liquid. We have a series on our hands.
TL battling back here in this series. So there's a lot of good tools.
Yes!
I actually love the Ivern here. I think that is going to make it so much more difficult for TL, you know, both, but it's this little bit of pressure that they have been able to put on, and we'll see if they can capitalize on any of those missing flashes. But grabbing an early Infernal at this point. And NRG are just continually putting on this pressure here. One more auto is going to do it. So first tower already there. Bot side will be able to grab a Dragon back. Here, Dokla's going to die, so it's going to be a race on the other side of the map to see what can they get done there.
And forcing
nice
the
play.
flash out of Dokla. KazaLoLLCShighlights finds him as well into the ultimate, but Dokla is living to the very bitter end. Almost takes out KazaLoLLCShighlights, but Yon claims the kill, and it's first blood for Team Liquid.
Yeah, good move from TL up towards the top side. They finally get Dokla. This has been the TL game plan. All eggs in the Summit basket, constantly forced towards him. They're going to lose their tower on bottom side. Of course, tier 1 mid was already taken a while ago, so that was that first tower of the game. This will eventually, we assume, be a trade on the top side. Not quite yet, but FBI going to be able to push out bot. They pushed out mid already. They take away some jungle camps potentially. And they continue trying to extend the gold lead.
They might not be able to get this turret. Dokla has teleport, and Ignar is threatening to collapse on here.
Getting a little risky.
It's an overextended play as well. Teleport from Dokla is right there.
Of course, there is always that concern that all of that gold is going to Jax, whereas yours is going to be split amongst multiple members on the top side. Here comes Contracts as expected.
Glacial Prison doesn't quite hit Contracts. Daisy has been summoned as well, just a body block in case that was necessary, but Palafox gets to hit this turret completely unmatched.
And they won't even have to actually drop the Herald to get it, so nicely done. They did trade, whether it's going to be Redemption or like maybe even Mikhail's going to be really good against Sejuani, but Summit could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Palafox is teleporting in. Summit forced to flash, but the explosive charge is right on top of him, and he doesn't have the Counter-Strike again to be able to deter the damage from Palafox, and he gets the rocket jump once again, and Pyosik is locked up. 2 kills over to the side of NRG.
Get a charge additionally after that, but if you spend too many members down towards bot, they could even challenge up E5, but they're late to the scene. We'll see if they can get in there.
Maybe Knight just might not be late at all. 1400 HP. Hex Flash from Ignar doesn't quite connect. Pyosik is able to take it down, and KazaLoLLCShighlights forcing the front line. Yon using the killer instinct to put himself on the left side of the map. And Palafox is in the pit, but neither...
Finishing this. And here comes the TP now. Now they should probably peel. Well, they're committing.
Do they want to commit as well to 2,000 HP as well? Summit just goes right into the heart of the pit. Contracts is able to secure it because there's no threat from Pyosik, but can they get NRG members out of the pit safely? KazaLoLLCShighlights taking a lot of damage, and FBI is still not Arcane shifted over the wall because he still wants to trade blow for blow against Yon and the rest of Team Liquid. Dokla looking for another re-engage as well. Summit jumps in, Counter-Strike. Here comes the engage from Ignar right into the middle. Summit and Pyosik still surviving the onslaught, and Yon is forced out of the fight because FBI from over the wall finds a true shot barrage and takes out more frontline members, and Palafox gets to reset, finding Pyosik on the back end of the fight.
They're really good about that one as well, as they are on the march here. 6K up, Baron in pocket. NRG are pressing to win this series.
And you talked about it before, Azale. So many players in this game are confidence players, and Palafox is definitely one of them. When he is feeling it, he is on fire. And now Palafox could be looking to make that show-stopping performance, something that he's carried every single game of this series, even in the loss.
It's very difficult to make anything happen there. There's not an angle for Soul for TL, so things are going to be very, very tough for them, but they are moving out on the map here, trying to see if they can find a pick.
Oh, FBI spotted right on the control ward. Glacial Prison stuns him dead.
Yeah.
Then it just seems almost game over for Team Liquid, because a lot of this damage is relying on
They need him now to be able to step up, and they're going to go for the deep TP here. No one's spotting him from NRG just yet, and Summit could have the angle.
They have the ward, and from the fog, FBI gets jumped by Summit. Can they carry out this fight? Ignar and Dokla fighting this one out, but they dropped to Team Liquid just like that.
To disengage him, so Dokla has to keep him out of the pit, and they got to try to finish.
Pyosik tries to look for the steal, but he gets stunned up. The stasis, 1,000 HP, it's secured by Contract. Pyosik is gone. Yon is gone. He goes golden, but does he have killer instinct? Can he look for the reposition over the wall? He finds an angle. Palafox looks for it. KazaLoLLCShighlights gives his life to make sure that Palafox cannot look for the killing blow to Yon, and Yon fights back, takes out Dokla. He's still alive. Summon is still up and available, but Palafox has teleporting. He has made a triple kill. He's going to look to see if they can look for the push.
I think they're going to go for it here. I think they have what it takes to close this one out. It's just Yon with no cooldowns, and Summit with no flash. Has ulti, but no Zhonya's here. It's a 2v4 stand, but they've got no answer for Palafox.
Summit jumps right into the back line of NRG, but they peel him off. Counter-Strike already used. A lot of damage. The splash damage. Palafox cleans it up for the unofficial pentakill, and NRG will advance in the upper bracket to face against the Golden Guardians.
NRG have done it. Palafaker taking over the series. going off in this one, finishing 6-0-4 on the Tristana. Adaptations, throughout the series, there were small ones. It was a lot of very, very similar drafts, but I think the slight changes that NRG made were smart. And
yeah,
overall, I just think that Palafox was such a difference maker. To me, he was the biggest X factor in this series. He was very, very good across basically every single game.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Team Liquid brought in APA to look for some type of just, spark to find aggression and to find a lot of, team fight X factors, and the fact that Palafox just neutralized him completely, I think it just showed Team Liquid were just not at full strength in this series, and NRG, they're the ones victorious. But for us, we're going to be heading over to the LCS Lounge as we get ready to break down that series. Congratulations again to NRG.
What do you say?
Edible tomato.
Edible tomato. Now we're too close that it's weird.
We've been
series,
close on
how'd it feel?
Just absolutely amazing. Core has never won like an upper bracket best of 5, and knowing that there's one more series away until we go Worlds or Finals, so nice, so nice.
Just kind of to piggyback off of that a little bit, like you guys have been around for last 2 years now, right? Been together as a core. This is the first time you won an upper bracket. What was the change over time that felt like? Because like in your regular season, you guys would perform, but then it feels like you guys would flop a little bit during the playoffs itself. But it feels like this time around the confidence was there. Do you know where that change came from?
I don't know. Maybe it's just we lost so much. We learned from our failures, I guess, kind of. But I think we also bonded a lot better. I think this split especially. So we have a lot of trust in each other, and I think it's showing.
Also, just talking about the series a little bit. It was chaotic, but also something that I would expect between NRG and TL. It felt like a longer series than it was. How was it for you guys? Like, did you guys have to keep yourselves calm within the game? Do you have to constantly remind yourselves? Like, what was it from your POV?
I mean, it was a bit stressful. Like, these team fights were they were kind of overextending. They're playing the line, and then we're like, can we just hit them? And then we're just teetering on that line pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, for me, it was just it felt like someone on their team would always make a mistake first, so we're just waiting to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then a little bit more about that, at least for you. You played and won both sides of the Jason Tristana matchup. It felt like as the series went on, your team was funneling you in more and more resources. Was that a call you made within the series? Because it felt like you had full command.
That's just how the matchup goes. The APA versus Palafox matchup, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I want to shout out APA. Being a rookie and playing, he played pretty well, so,
He did pretty fun.
Respect. Yeah. Respect. There we go. And so I want to talk about expectations, because coming into the playoffs, once again, you guys didn't win All-Pro, but I know how vocal you guys have been about that. Then there was the conversation about power rankings for you. So once again, we got into another season where a lot of people counted you out, and you guys had this kind of a performance that could have easily been a 3-0. Is there a message you guys have for people out there who constantly down you, including myself, by the way?
I would just say that in League, a lot of people only look at individual stats. I think, especially this series, Dokla, as an example, he was using a lot of moves towards mid. It makes me look a lot better. Obviously, he's taking focus away from himself, but that's what you need to do to win, And a lot of people don't really look at stuff like that for all pros, so.
How about yourself? Just response to the overall expectations.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just focus on what I can control, and that's just myself and my gameplay. And alongside Soaz, I think I've been getting a lot better throughout the split. So yeah, shout out to Soaz for helping me out, and then shout out to everyone of our coaches for leveling us up.
That makes sense. And if you're talking about leveling up, we're looking ahead. C9 decided to dodge you guys going into the other side of the bracket, and you guys will be going up against Golden Guardians. So first of all, reaction to the fact that C9 wasn't willing to face you guys, but also now going up against Golden Guardians. Just do those 2 points for you both.
You know that for sure? They were ducking us? Or
yeah.
What?
I mean...
Yeah? Okay, well.
Yeah, for sure.
Thoughts on it? You go first, Dokla.
I mean, we always make it really close series against them, so I think, it makes sense logically, right? They lost to us twice. I'm just focused on Golden Guardians now. I don't really care about C9 at this point, unless we meet them in the finals or something.
And talk about Golden Guardians a little bit. You're going to be going up against Licorice. Any immediate thoughts on that one as you just got out of this series?
First team All-Pro, man. I got to pick Orin. I don't know.
And how about yourself, Palafox? Going up against Gory?
Going versus Gory. Gory's a good player, but Not gonna lie, I'm really confident at least Dokla to shit on Licorice going into the matchup. Just being honest, you know, like.
You're an honest man.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's a surprise at all. You ended up winning player of the series for this one. So congratulations for winning that. Any thoughts as we're about to close this one out to the fans?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our journey. Hopefully we make it to finals. Thank you guys.
There it is. Thanks a lot, Dokla and Palafox, for that one. And we're going to be heading this one straight back to the lounge for this or that.